Okay, quick video reviewing domain and range. So first of all, when you do domain and range, now that we know what an odd function and even function is, that does help us with our domain and range. So remember touchdown, if they're both pointing in the same direction, this is an even function. Disco, two opposite directions, this is odd. This one, two opposite directions, is odd. This one, they're both pointing in the same direction. They're pointing down, but they're both going in the same direction. That's an even function. Same direction over here is even function. And this one, same direction, is even. If you have an odd function, so my two odd functions right here, unless you have a hole in it, something that's not continuous, your domain and range are both going from negative infinity to positive infinity. So again, for all of your odd functions, both your domain and range, if they have arrows on the end, if they're showing that they go on forever, if an odd function with arrows, they are going on forever in both directions. If you have an even function like this with arrows going on forever, your domain is also negative infinity to infinity for all of these. All of my domains for these even functions are negative infinity to positive infinity. However, my range is not the same for this one because you can see right here, I am not going any farther. If this hits right here at -4, I am going no lower than negative. So on this one, my range, I start at -4 and then I go to infinity. All the way, I keep going forever. Here's another even function. Let's say that this point is at 3. So my range for this function would be negative infinity because I'm going all the way down up to this point where I stop at 3. Let's say this point here is at 5. On here, again, my range would be negative infinity and then it stops at 5. Here, let's say that this, or not that, right here, let's say this is -7. So if this is at -7, my range is going from -7 to positive infinity. And let me go back and fix this one. Sorry, I did not pick the highest point. It's not my y-intercept. So let's say this is 4. This is my y-intercept at 3, but this top of this, my maximum is 4. So that's 4. And let me check my other ones. This is, let's just say this is the highest point. It's not a great picture. Maybe I'll make it look a little bit more like that is my highest point there. So realize it isn't always, it's not necessarily your y-intercept. The highest point is not the y-intercept. So do be careful on that. This is just not a great picture. All right. So that's all there is to domain and range. Again, odd functions like these two, unless it's not continuous or if it doesn't have the arrows at the end, your domain and range both go from negative infinity to positive infinity. If it is even with arrows at the end and continuous with no holes, your domain is negative infinity to positive infinity, but your range is however low or high it goes, and then on one end and the other end will be infinity or negative infinity. So this one has a minimum of -4 and it goes up forever. This one has a maximum of 4 and it goes down forever. Maximum of 5, down forever. Minimum of -7, up forever. Oops, and I should have had brackets there too. Remember, brackets means you are including the number. So if it's touching it, like right here, I'm including it. I'm including -7. I have a value of x when y is -7. I'm including 5. I have a value of x when y is 5. So that's all there is to domain and range. The odd ones are really easy and the even ones are really not that much more difficult.